What's up, guys? It's Couple23 back in the house, and welcome back to another video. Today we'll be doing the top 5 best killers in the entire game. This is gonna end off the killer series. Sorry about that. And after this, we're gonna be done with the top 10 killers. I might do Survivor. I might do top 10. I might do top survivors. But I don't know. I might not. Let's see. But anyway, there's gonna be no video this Friday again. But other than that, I have nothing else to say. Let's hop right into this video. Now, I forgot to change my killer, but pretty much the first killer, number 5, is the Hillbilly. He's a very high mobility killer, a very good killer. He recently had a nerf to him, which added a cooldown, but that nerf really didn't do a whole lot for him. He's still a very viable, very good killer. His power is pretty simple. It's pretty much a chainsaw. That's all it is. It's pretty much a chainsaw, and you activate it and you one hit down someone. I would say that Hillbilly is a little bit more harder to use than like Bubba. Bubba is a little bit more easier to use when it comes to his chainsaw, because Hillbilly, there's a little bit more learning around his chainsaw. Bubba, you can just activate the button and just go like a maniac around the place. But since Hillbilly, you need to like aim correctly and you need to steer, and the Hillbilly chainsaw can easily be juked. Bubba's cannot. So yeah, that's what makes Hillbilly a little bit more harder to use. But other than that, that's pretty much his ability is just a chainsaw. His 3 super perks are enduring, you are resilient to pain, you reduce the duration of pallet stuns for 50%. This pretty much helps so where you can just eat pallets all day long and not really have to deal with it, not have to worry about getting the the decently long stun, and just catch up on survivors really quickly. And it really just makes you feel like a tank, because you can just eat pallets all day long and not have a long stun at all. Back in the day, this used to also count your decisive strike, but that is no longer in effect today. His second T-super perk is called Tinkerer. When a generator is repaired to 70% progress, it triggers a loud noise notification, and you are granted the intangible status effect for 16 seconds. So this pretty much when a survivor is almost done with a generator, it triggers a loud noise notification, just like if a survivor would have would blow up a gen, and it triggers a loud notification. That's pretty much what you will see, except they are not blowing it up, they are succeeding with the repair progress. So you have to make sure you get over there really quick, and to help you out, you are undetectable for 16 seconds. So this is very good at high mobility killers, just like Hillbilly, Blight, and Spirit, and all the other, and Nurse and stuff. So that's Tinkerer. Third T-super perk is Lightborn. Unlike other beasts of the fog, you have adapted to light. You are immune to blindness caused by flashlights and firecrackers. Survivors that attempt blinding you have their auras revealed for 10 seconds. So pretty much you are completely immune to blinds from flashlights and firecrackers. No one really uses firecrackers. It's been a long time since I've seen firecrackers, to be honest with you. I kind of forget if they were just like a event item, or if they were actually like a thing you can use just like anytime you want. I don't know, I forgot. I don't have any firecrackers because I didn't play during that time. Well, I did. I used to play on another account. I didn't play on this account, but I don't really remember a whole lot of that. But anyways, so if a survivor attempts blinding you, you can see the aura for 10 seconds. Now this is very good at sometimes like pallets. When a survivor drops a pallet and you go to break it, they will usually try to attempt to blind you if they have a flashlight. And since you can't be blind, you can still see them, and on top of that, you can see the aura, so you can see exactly where they run to. So this is pretty much where this perk really shines in that case. But yeah, that's pretty much why I put the Hillbilly the Hillbilly in the number 5 spot onto the number 4 spot. Alright, on to the number 4 spot we have the Nightmare, or aka Freddy Krueger. Now, Freddy Krueger is also a high mobility killer. However, his high mobility can't be used, like for example, like Hillbillies, like can't be used every second. He has a cooldown. But speaking of that, let's go into his power, Dream Demon. Pretty much like I said before, his cooldown, he can teleport to generators. He can teleport to generators, yes. Sorry, give me a sec. And also, for each survivor that's in the dream state, it lowers the cooldown for his teleporting ability. But his second ability is called Dream Snare. It's pretty much like traps for the trapper or hag, except it doesn't really hurt them. It just makes them suffer from the hindered status effect, and it makes them scream for the time being as they're in the trap. So this is gonna be very good around loops and you know, like stopping people from, like, you know, like dropping pallets and stuff. He used to be a very bad killer back in the day. He used to have this ability to where all he could do is pull people into dreams. So that used to be his ability back then, and it was very bad. He was just such a very bad killer. He was just not a good killer at all. Oh, I forgot to mention too, he has add-ons that can make his dream snares turn into dream pallets. Now, dream pallets are obviously fake pallets, just like the doctor has. Excuse me. Whoa. To where if survivor drops it, it pretty much, you know, you don't get stunned by it, and you go right through the pallet and you just hit them. It's so funny. I love running dream pallet add-ons. It's so funny to see survivors just go through it and stuff. I mean, to see yourself go through it and just hit them, and they're like, what the hell? Because, you know, they don't know it's a, you know, fake pallet, but it's just funny to see. But yeah, that's pretty much his power. On to his perks. His first perk is called Fire Up. For each generator completed, gain a 4% stackable buff that grants a speed bonus for picking up, dropping, vaulting, damaging generators, and breaking pallets for the remainder of the trial. This is pretty much like an upgraded brutal strength, except for the added in speed boost of picking up, dropping, and vaulting. But this is pretty much, this is like, if you're good at keeping gen pressure, this won't really like work that much, even though it's still just a good perk to run, I would say, in my opinion, because, you know, that 4% stackable increase is pretty nice, to be honest with you. It obviously goes up to 5 stackable increase because there's 5 generators that the survivors have to repair. But would I run this perk? On a few killers, maybe, not all of them. No, it's not a good perk to run on every killer, but it's a, I would say it's a decent perk. His second perk, the last 2 perks are pretty much endgame perks. Second perk is Blood Warden. As soon as the exit gates is open, Blood Warden is activated. The orders of any survivors located in the exit gates are revealed to you. Once per match, hooking survivor while Blood Warden is active, calls the entity to block both exit gates for all survivors for 60 seconds. Now remember, one of the exit gates have to be open for this perk to even work. This pretty much punishes the players that stick around in the exit gates, which is good and bad. For example, like survivors that stick around the exit gates so they can help out like teammates who have been hooked during the end game. It's kind of bad because, you know, it awards bad behavior of the survivors just leaving their teammates to die on the hook just because they're afraid of this perk. But no one really ever runs this perk a whole lot, so you don't really see that a whole lot, at least from my experiences. So you don't have to really be scared about that a whole lot. I guess like I don't really know, but I guess on the first day this perk came out, a lot of people ran it because it sounds good. It sounds like a very OP perk. It sounds like a very, very OP perk, but in reality, in reality, it's really kind of not. Because survivors probably can loop you for the 60 seconds and they can go right out. So it's not really like, it's not really a good perk. But yeah, on to his third teachable perk. It's called Remember Me. This is an obsession perk. Each time you hit your obsession with a basic attack, you increase the opening time of the gates, exit gates for 4 seconds up to a maximum of 16 additional seconds. The obsession is not affected by the Remember Me. So pretty much every time you hit the obsession, once it comes down to the exit game, the end game, any survivor who is opening an exit gate that is not the obsession, if you have all stacks on this, I think it's 4 stacks you get. If you have all 4 stacks, then they have to open it up with the additional 16 seconds. So it takes them way longer to open up the exit gate. Now, for some odd reason, the obsession is not affected by this perk, so this perk is just non-existent when it comes to the obsession. When it comes to the obsession, so I don't know why that is. Kind of stupid to me, but this is pretty much an endgame perk. This won't help you out a whole lot if you are good at not getting to the end game. But yeah, that's pretty much his perks. That's why I put him from number 4 onto the number 3 spot. Alrighty. On to the number 3, we have the Oni. The Oni is extremely fun killer to play and a very good killer. His power is Yokomonka's Wraith. Now, for some odd reason, don't judge me, I recently found out that this guy and the spirit are related somehow. I don't know how, but yeah, I'm not gonna talk about that. Anyway, his power is called Blood Fury. And pretty much how you get the power is you have to collect blood orbs from survivors, from injured survivors. The survivors have to be injured. So there's a very big counter to Oni right there, is just heal, which in my opinion survivors should be doing all the time. Is healing, unless you have some very big debuffs like Sloppy Butcher or like Coulrophobia or something. So yeah, survivors should be healing anyway. But if survivors don't heal, then you can use the power a lot more. But again, if survivors don't heal, then your power kind of becomes useless, because your power has the ability to one-shot down someone, and since they're already injured, you can still just down them with your regular attack anyway. I guess the only useful thing to use when all survivors are injured and you're in your power is the Demon Dash, which makes you run incredibly fast like a maniac. But yeah, so pretty much the biggest counter to Oni is just to heal, so he can't get his power. But like I was saying before, his first ability is the Demon Dash, where you hold on the button and you run like crackhead Hillbilly. And once you find a survivor, you can hit the attack button and you can insta down them. And his second attack is the Demon Strike. You pretty much press the attack button, hold it down, and then you pretty much do this mega crazy lunge and you hit any survivor that you are aiming at. That's pretty much his power. His 3 teachable perks is called Blood Echo. When hook a survivor, all other injured survivors suffer from the hemorrhage and exhaustion test effect for 45 seconds. Blood Echo has a cooldown of 60 seconds. This is a pretty decent perk, as when you hook a survivor, all other survivors that are injured suffer from these status effects. This is very good because since they're suffering from the hemorrhage status effect, it can take longer to heal, and B, they suffer from the exhaustion status effect, so that means they can't use Sprint Burst, they can't use Lithe, they can't use Dead Hard, they can't use any of that stuff. And Dead Hard is survivor is a survivor perk that a lot of injured survivors, a lot of people like to be injured, just stay injured because they have Dead Hard. And so it's kind of, I don't do that. I try to get healed anytime I can, even if I'm running Dead Hard, because it's just kind of like, it's like, why stay injured? Plus Dead Hard, if a lot of experienced killers don't swing, they wait until they're right up to you, and by the time they're right up to you, you probably already used Dead Hard already, and then they'll swing. bad killers their swing before, and that's when you use Dead Heart. So it's kind of just like, I don't know why people stay injured when they have Dead Heart. Like, yeah, you know, it's fun to use Dead Heart, but like, a lot of experienced killers know that you probably have Dead Heart, so they're gonna wait for the Dead Heart. But yeah, plus you can only use this perk every 60 seconds. Second useful perk is Zen Tactics. The auras of all pallets, breakable walls, vault locations revealed to you from within a 24 meter range. This is good for like new killers, so they know where pallets, windows, and the vaults are at, or breakable walls. Sorry. But once a survivor is injured, once you injure the survivor, this perk inactivates for 30 seconds. I've never used Zen Tactics at all in a match. I've actually never used it, so I don't know how it really is. But yeah, that's pretty much it, to be honest with you. Last perk is called Nemesis. A survivor who blinds you or stuns you using a pallet or locker becomes your obsession. Anytime a new obsession becomes the obsession, they are affected by the oblivious status effect for 60 seconds, and their aura is shown to you for 4 seconds. So pretty much any survivor that stuns you or tries to blind you, any survivor that stuns you with a pallet or a locker, and they blind you, they become the obsession. And once they become the obsession, they suffer from the oblivious status effect, and the aura is shown to you for 4 seconds. So this is a decent perk. Not good, not bad. That's pretty much all I have to say about this perk, to be honest with you. So yeah, that's why I put only in number 3 onto the number 2 spot. Alright, number 2, we have the Spirit, probably the second best killer in the entire game. Her power is called Yokomoka's Haunting. Pretty much, you can become completely invisible. Not like Wraith invisible, completely invisible. And you can, pretty much just phase walk around the map and grab people off of gens. It's a fun killer to use. You can also fake it, because since when you do the Yokomoka Haunting, your character, wherever you were last at when you use your power, your character stays there until you phase walk to the other section, then your character disappears. And so you can fake it. And for example, on a pallet, if a survivor is on the other side of the pallet and you are on the other side of the pallet, you can fake and not move at all, and then click your power at the last second just to create the noise, and then they'll get scared and they'll usually vault the pallet. And so you can get an easy grab or an injury on them. That's pretty much what it does. So our 3 useful perks is first one is the Hex perk. It's called Hex on the Grounds. 2 trapped Hex totems will spawn in the trial. When either one of the 2 trapped Hex totems is cleansed by a survivor, all survivors suffer from the exposed house effect for 60 seconds. The remaining trapped Hex totem immediately becomes a dull totem. So pretty much when you run this perk, it's 2 dull totems. 2 trapped totems, 2 trapped Hex totems spawn in the map. So 2 Hex totems instead of 1 spawns in the map, and if either one of these are cleansed, all survivors, not just the one that cleansed it, but all survivors are exposed for the next 60 seconds. So it's a very, very good Hex perk, and I think should be run a lot more. People run it, but like mostly people run it are people that play Spirit. But I feel like it's a very good Hex perk. It's definitely one of the best Hex perks, to be honest with you. Second perk is called Spirit Fury. Each pallet you break magnifies the wraith of the entity. After breaking 2 pallets, the next time you are stunned by a pallet, the entity will instantly break the pallet. You still suffer from the stun effect penalty. What did I say? Yeah, okay, so when you break 2 pallets, the next pallet that has dropped on you instantly breaks. But you still suffer the stun. So I don't really think, to be honest with you, I don't think this is a good perk. I really don't think this is a good perk, because you can, a lot of times, I don't see a whole lot of killers breaking pallets. I mean, they break pallets, but like, I don't know, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know about this perk. Like, in my opinion, I don't think it's a good, a good perk. I don't think it's a good perk at all. So that's pretty much all I have to say about it. Third teachable perk is called Rancor. This is an obsession perk. Your obsession sees your aura for 3 seconds. Each time generators complete, all survivors' location are revealed to you for 3 seconds. Once all generators are complete, the obsession has the explosive effect, and you can kill your obsession. So pretty much, you obsess one survivor, and the obsession can see your aura for 3 seconds each time a generator is complete. And each time a generator is complete, you can see all survivor auras for 3 seconds. And once the last generator has been completed and you get into the end game collapse, your obsession suffers from the exposed status effect. And on top of that, you can mori your obsession. So once you get her down with the exposed status effect, you can mori her. So that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. So this is probably her second best perk. Her worst perk is Spirit Fury. But yeah, that's pretty much Spirit. Number 1 spot, you probably know who it is, but let's see if you're right. So, number 1 spot, we have the Nurse, the best killer in the entire game. It's the strongest killer, I should say, in the entire game. She is extremely good, but extremely hard to play. I might make a video of me torturing myself by playing the Nurse. It's gonna be horrible to watch, but I feel like it'd be a fun idea since I'm so bad at the Nurse. Be an entertaining video to watch, I guess. But her power is Spencer's Last Breath, and this pretty much what this is pretty much allows you to legit like teleport or like fly to like a, you know, like the area that like you want to go. You can pretty much fly through walls. You can fly through pretty much everything except rocks and trees. You can pallets are pretty much non-existent for the Nurse. Windows are pretty much non-existent. Like, she pretty much counters everything that a survivor has to, you know, stop a killer from hitting them. She is such a good killer, and so it's pretty much a power. She can blink, which is pretty much like fly to like a certain area, like pretty much teleport kind of. So yeah, she's very good. She can pretty much go through walls. She can go through anything except for trees and rocks and stuff like that. Her 3 teachable perks are Nurse's Calling. The auras of survivors who are healing or being healed are revealed to you when they are within a 28 meter range. This is a very good perk, especially for like if a survivor takes a person off the hook and you go back to the area where they did, and they're healing in a corner, but you don't see them. This perk will help them see you, them. And this is a really good perk. Second perk is called Strider. You are acutely sensitive to the breathing of your prey. Breathing of survivors in pain is 50% louder, and regular breathing is 25% louder. This is a very good perk on killer like spirits, where when you're in your phase walk ability, you can't see survivors, but you can see the scratch marks and hear them. This is a very good perk for her. When it comes to like Nurse, not really. When it comes to like any other killer but Spirit, I don't really think this is a good perk, to be honest with you. This perk is like only kind of good on Spirit. but that's pretty much what it is. Third hook is the Thanophobia. Their courage fades in face of the undeniable morality. For each injured, dying, or hooked survivor, all survivors receive a penalty of 4% to a maximum of 16% to repair, healing, and sabotage speeds. So every time a survivor is injured, or I should say, for every survivor injured, you get a 4% penalty. So pretty much a decrease to pretty much almost all actions that survivor can do, except, you know, vaulting and stuff. You know, that's still fast for them. But when it comes to repairing, healing, and sabotaging, it's slower. So yeah, that's pretty much Thanophobia for you, or the Thanophobia, or the Thanophobia. I can't say that. But yeah. So Nurse is number one. She is voted by the community itself as the best killer in the entire game. But there you have it, guys. That is the top 5 best killers. That's pretty much all I have to say for my outro. But like always, don't forget to go to the description, click the like button, show them who is boss, especially if you're 23. And adios.